Imagine being the last of your kind, the sole survivor of an entire lineage of creatures that once thrived on this planet. Unfortunately, this was the reality for several species that once walked the Earth. In this video, we'll explore the stories of the last individuals from 10 species that, after millennia of evolution, became extinct forever. You'll learn about the challenges these animals faced, the conservation efforts made, and the impact of their extinctions. If you're interested in natural history and the struggle for survival, stay with us until the end to discover the fate of these last survivors. 1. Benjamin, the last Tasmanian tiger, Thylacynus cynocephaly. The Tasmanian tiger, also known as the thylacine, was one of the largest modern carnivorous marsupials. Benjamin, the last known thylacine, lived in captivity at the Hobart Zoo in Tasmania. Despite its fierce appearance, it was a shy and nocturnal animal. Relentless hunting, spurred by bounties, and habitat destruction led to the species' extinction. In 1936, Benjamin died, marking the end of an era for this fascinating species. Its extinction became a symbol of the human impact on the environment, sparking reflections on wildlife conservation. Even after its death, there have been unconfirmed sightings of the thylacine, keeping hope alive that the species might still exist in some remote area. However, science officially considers the species extinct, and Benjamin is remembered as the last of his kind, a sad reminder of the fragility of species under human pressure. 2. Martha, the last passenger pigeon, Ectopistes migratorius. In the 19th century, passenger pigeons were one of the most numerous bird species on Earth, with billions of individuals in the United States. But excessive hunting and habitat destruction caused a rapid decline. Martha, the last passenger pigeon, died on September 1, 1914, at the Cincinnati Zoo. Her death marked the end of a species that, in a very short period, went from abundance to extinction. Martha is now preserved at the Smithsonian Museum, where she serves as a solemn reminder of the fragility of wildlife in the face of human exploitation. Martha's story is particularly tragic because it reflects how quickly a species can disappear when faced with uncontrolled hunting and habitat loss. She wasn't just the last of her species, but also a powerful symbol of the urgent need for conservation. 3. Lonesome George, the last Galapagos tortoise, Chelonoidis abingdonii. Lonesome George was the last known individual of his subspecies of giant tortoise from the Galapagos Islands. Discovered on Pinta Island in 1971, George became a global symbol of conservation and biodiversity. For decades, scientists attempted to breed him with females of closely related species, but to no avail. In 2012, Lonesome George died, and with him, a lineage of over 10 million years came to an end. His story highlighted the challenges of preserving isolated species and the importance of protecting unique habitats before it's too late. After his death, Lonesome George was taxidermied and is now on display at the Galapagos National Park, serving as a reminder of the devastating impact of human activity on island species. His life and death continue to inspire conservation efforts worldwide. 4. Tury, the last Achatinella apex fulva. Tury was the last individual of the species Achatinella apex fulva, a Hawaiian tree snail. These snails were known for their beautiful spiral shells and played a crucial role in local ecosystems. The species was decimated by the introduction of non-native predators and habitat destruction. In 2019, Tury died in captivity, marking the end of his species. Tury was considered a biological treasure, and his death was a stark warning for the conservation of other endemic species in Hawaii. The extinction of Tury highlights the vulnerability of species that rely on very specific habitats. The loss of this snail serves as an example of what can happen when ecosystems are altered or destroyed and reinforces the need for more aggressive conservation measures to protect unique species. 5. Booming Ben, the last Labrador duck, Camptorhynchus labradorius. The Labrador duck was a species of sea duck found in North America, with the last populations observed in the 19th century. Known for its black and white plumage and migratory nature, the Labrador duck disappeared due to hunting and the destruction of its coastal habitat. Booming Ben was the last confirmed Labrador duck, last seen in 1875. The extinction of the Labrador duck is a clear example of how unchecked hunting can wipe out a species within a few decades. The rapid extinction of the Labrador duck also drew attention to the need for stricter hunting regulations and the conservation of coastal habitats, which are crucial for many migratory species. 6. Timido, the last Cape lion, Panthera leo-melanocata. The Cape lion was a subspecies of lion that inhabited the Cape region of South Africa. They were known for their impressive dark manes. Excessive hunting by European settlers in the 19th century led to their disappearance. Timido, the last known Cape lion, was killed in 1858. Its extinction illustrates the devastating impact of trophy hunting and the lack of regulation in protecting large predators during the colonial period. Today, the Cape lion is remembered as one of the great cats that paid the price for colonization and the disregard for native wildlife. Its loss is a bitter reminder of the consequences of unchecked exploitation of natural resources. 7. Celia, the last Pyrenean ibex, Capra pyrenaica pyrenaica. Celia was the last Pyrenean ibex, a subspecies of wild goat that inhabited the Pyrenees between France and Spain. Hunting, competition with domestic livestock, and diseases brought by domestic animals contributed to its decline. Celia was found dead in 2000, marking the extinction of her species. Before her death, attempts were made to clone her, but they were unsuccessful. Celia symbolizes the challenges faced in conserving species in mountainous and hard-to-reach areas. Celia's story also raises questions about the use of biotechnology in species preservation and whether cloning could be a viable tool in the future to prevent extinction. 8. Boskaran, the last auroch, Bos taurus primigenius. Boskaran was the name given to the last auroch, a species of wild cattle that once inhabited much of Europe, Asia, and North Africa. With its large stature and long horns, the aurochs were hunted to extinction and also domesticated to create modern cattle. Boskaran died in 1627 in Poland, ending the existence of a species that had coexisted with humans for thousands of years. Its extinction is one of the first documented in modern history. Boskaran's death marks the end of an era and serves as a reminder of the origins of many of the domesticated animals we know today. The extinction of the aurochs also shows how human intervention can radically alter the course of a species' evolution. 9. Tury, the last Achatinella apex fulva. Tury was the last Achatinella apex fulva snail, a species native to Hawaii that played a vital role in the local ecosystem. These snails were an important part of Hawaiian cultural traditions and were involved in the pollination of native plants. The introduction of predators and habitat loss were the main causes of its extinction. In 2019, Tury died in captivity, leaving an ecological and cultural void. The loss of Tury is a reminder of the fragility of island ecosystems and the importance of protecting endemic species. Tury's death also underscores the challenges of conservation in island regions, where species often have nowhere to go when their habitat is destroyed. 10. Tuffy, the last Rab's fringe-limbed tree frog, Ecnomiohyla raborum. Tuffy was the last known Rab's fringe-limbed tree frog, a species of frog that lived in the cloud forests of Panama. The frog was discovered in 2005, but within a few years, the species was decimated by a fungal disease. Tuffy died in 2016 at the Atlanta Botanical Garden, marking the extinction of his species. Tuffy's story highlights the threat that emerging diseases pose to global biodiversity and the need for swift conservation actions for newly discovered species. Tuffy's case also reflects the difficulties faced in preserving amphibians worldwide, many of which are in grave danger of extinction due to factors such as disease and climate change. These last individuals of their species represent much more than just names on a list of extinctions. They are symbols of the impact humanity can have on wildlife. Each of these stories reminds us of the fragility of existence and the urgent need to protect the species we still have the fortune to share our planet with. And if you want to learn more about incredible creatures that once existed, don't miss our next video. How did these 10 terrifying sea creatures actually exist? Don't forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to the channel to keep learning about the wonders and mysteries of the natural world. See you next time.